Shalom, everyone. My name is Jason Wilson. I'm here with 4 of the Cave of Adullam recruits, young men I'm very proud of. To my right is my son, Jason Wilson II, Trey Bruce Collins III. To my left is Elisha Nunn and Caden Johnson. Y'all can say what's up.
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
What's up, y'all?
All right. And I got my boy Bruce Collins II, senior in the house. He's off to the side. One of the most faithful fathers in the Cave of Adullam. Very thankful to have him as a friend and a brother. And today we want to talk about episode 2. We're going to title it, what is it?
Manipulating moms.
Say it again.
Manipulating moms.
Manipulating moms. Taking advantage of mama. All right. And I want to start with this video I created many years ago to set the tone so we can have a open discussion about how boys specifically manipulate their mothers. Check it out. Discipline your son while there is still hope, and do not desire his death. This scripture permeates in my spirit this morning after having to discipline my son for once again losing focus while getting ready for school. It crushes my soul to discipline him, and it truly troubles my spirit when it bothers my wife. However, I know deep in my heart that if I do not comprehensively discipline him, the courts will sentence him or the streets will kill him. I am living proof of this, and 2 of my brothers are dead proof of this. Although my mother did a great job raising me without my father actively in my life, it was very easy for me to manipulate her emotions. As a result, there were many life-threatening activities I got engaged in that only a father's comprehensive discipline could have prevented. Yes, it hurts being the bad guy when I'm not, but I cannot allow the emotions of my soul to give the enemy an opportunity to take my son's soul. Scriptures for meditation, Ephesians 4:27 and Proverbs 19:18. Shalom. Good. All right, now, that scripture that was on the screen, discipline your son while there is still hope, and do not desire his death. So what do you think that means, while there is still hope? Any of you? And then, Kate, you're going to have to lean in, and Bruce, if you want to talk. But go ahead, Jay.
I feel like that means...
Get closer so we can...
I feel like that means when you have 18 years as a parent to discipline your child. After those 18 years, the child gets out of your reach, he goes to college, and he starts living his own life.
Very good. Anyone else? You agree?
There was like this study that talked about how by the age of 25, pretty much their ideas and how they operate in the world is set, all their ways of behaving and all of that. So before the ages of 25, that's really your main chance of disciplining your child and making sure that he lives right, because after 25, it usually takes a very, very tragic event or a major event for them to actually change behavior.
Good research. You said something. You wanted to say something, Katie? Bring it. You got to speak in the mic. We got to make it.
To be honest, I think it's like, because after a certain age too, because even around my age, a lot of people just go through stuff, and then after that, it's just over for them, and they just feel like everything is bad, but it's not always bad. But if you could steer them in the right direction, that would be the better thing.
It's doing it young, right?
Yes, to do it young.
Good. What do you think, Trey?
I think it means the same thing what Jason said is like, how do I explain it? Once they get to a certain age,
Talking to Mike, 'cause you said good.
they have to make choices for themselves. And if you haven't taught them the right choices to make, then they're going to end up dead or in jail or some place that they don't want to be.
Growing up, like I said in that video, it was very easy for me to manipulate my mother. It was so easy. When I wanted something, I would, it shames me to admit this, I would threaten my mother that I would sell drugs to get it then. Okay, if you can't help me get it, I just sell drugs. And so the reason that was so impactful to her, my brothers were killed. Okay, so here it is, another son with a high-risk behavior potentially to do something foolish and get killed. As fathers, it hurts us because we want to train you up. And I have to be honest, my wife has gotten in the way of me training my son up several times. It's not intentional that she is trying to stop me. It's just the nature of a mother. And you all know that, right, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And you all take advantage of that. And that's why I give you props for being here. because it takes a lot of heart, especially at your age, to say, hey, I'm going to expose this evil. So not only I can overcome it, but others who watch this can say, hey, this is hurting us. Why? Because we only have so much time, right, Jay? We only have so much time. There's only so much time that we still have hope in saving your life, and that's right now. So I guess the first question, and I guess I start with Elisha. Name a time when you manipulated your mother. And then tell me, did you feel any conviction after doing so?
So, first, the main reason why I usually manipulated my mother was to avoid taking accountability and responsibility. So when I was, for example, like small stuff, like when my dad would have me do the correct etiquette and not smack while you're eating and not to chew super, super loud and all of that, I would like look for my mom's like, well, give her like a sad face or a pout face. No, don't do that. And it's that same kind of principle now, like when my room would not be clean at a certain time, when something might not be done. I'd have all these reasons that would basically tug at her emotions to avoid taking accountability, basically trying to make her think, oh, it's my fault. And the main reason, of course, I felt conviction, but not during the moment. After mainly you feel like, oh, thank you, I got away with it. But usually now after you look back on it, it's like, nah, that was disgusting. Like,
and did you get away with it really? Maybe you got away with it in that moment, but when you get older, that lack of discipline it plays out in your struggle with, say drugs, for instance, or pornography. You understand? And that's what I mean by that is that, we think we're getting away with something, but eventually it catches us. I go Bruce, then I'm a cool other way.
Yeah, I have an example. I remember what was I doing? I remember my dad told me to do some chores or something like that. And then I went and hugged my mom for a good 10 minutes and just stayed there because I was not trying to do what he said. So I just stayed there, had my arms around her. I was not moving.
And she didn't say do the chores, huh?
Oh, man. She's caught on to that. So now whenever I do that, she's like, okay, go do what your dad said. So
That's good. All right. What about you, Jay? Let me move this over.
Can we go to Caden first? I really don't know.
Go ahead, Caden. Bring the mic over for Caden.
To be honest,
Hold on, wait for them to get the mic anyway. Go ahead.
My mom is she's a giving and kind person, and me and Jason, we were playing the game, and I was like, dang, I need to get some.
Talk
VC.
a little further than the mic.
I was
say
like,
that
I
again.
need to get some VC.
Go back a little bit because go back a little bit because I don't want people to miss that. Go
I
ahead.
was saying me and Jason were playing the game, and I was like, I need to get some of this money for the game, and he was like, okay, well, just go ask your mom and say this is for me and you to play with.
So Miss Janelle knows how close me and Caden are, and she wanted Caden at that time during quarantine. There can be a lot of emotions going on. You can go depression, and you need someone to talk to, and you need to have fun. So Miss Janelle, my theory was that I think I did do that.
It was you.
So
yes.
My theory was that Miss Janelle would feel bad for Caden and that he couldn't play with me, so he could. And then she gave him
she gave me the money for it,
and then he played with me. So
the thing was though, I felt bad because I'm like, I'm really just tricking my mom to just giving me money for this, and not saying I'm not gonna blame everything on you because it's my fault for even going with it in the first place. Because I could have just been like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, Jason. I'm gonna just ask her and say, can I have it? Right. 9 times out of 10, if I ask her, she'll still say yes, but I'm still using her kindness.
Right.
So it convicted it. It didn't really convict me during that time, but the more older I got and the more I thought about it, it's just like, nah, it's not. I shouldn't be doing that.
I'm thinking here, as fathers be, Bruce the second, for me, it hurts when I try to discipline little Jay and my wife would, get in the way. Even my daughter would do it at times. He's smiling because it's the truth. And he'd never say, Ma, let Dad discipline me. He knows what he's doing, and I need to grow in this
in my life.
How do you feel, bro? And I could put the words on the screen. Or matter of fact, Caden, get up for a minute. Let Mr. B hop in real quick. I wanted to hear Father's perspective. Come on in. It's fine, man. You good, brother. I know you weren't expecting to be on here. All right. But there's a lot of fathers who feel like us, who just we love our sons and we want to do the best for them. And so do our wives. Can you name an instance when you were disciplining Trey and you saw him manipulating Dakina, who was Trey's mom? And then how did that make you feel as a father, that he kind of got away with something, or you felt that your leadership really wasn't respected?
Well, when I see him manipulating his mom in the scenario he just demonstrated, where he would avoid chores by going and hugging his mom, I learned to do a little countdown. Like, okay, he's hugging mom. I'll give him a few minutes, but after that, I have to put the hammer down. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't necessarily hurt me, but coming from a single parent household myself, I see the tricks. Mm-hmm. I know how the manipulation goes. And so I try to implement a little bit of grace, because I know the things that I've done against my mother as a single kid, or not a single kid, but just as a kid growing up in a single parent household. So the thing for me, what my wife tries to do is to get me not to be so angry when I discipline, because sometimes I'll go from 0 to 10 in a minute, and they'll both say that, okay, you don't need to get so angry about it. So I still have to figure out why I get as angry as I do, and I think it's because I feel a level of disrespect.
There you go. And even
when I tell him to do something.
But then we go even deeper as men. We have to understand that disrespect is really a surface emotion. It's really hurt, because I know how much you love him. Like, okay, and so it's like, well, man, much as I do for you, you won't even do the chores.
Right.
You won't do your homework. I talk to your dad. You know what I'm saying? I love this brother. And so it comes off like we're angry at you guys. And we are initially, but when you dig deeper and you find, like if there's a leak somewhere underground, the water may rise to the surface, right? But that's not what the problem is. You got to dig to fix the issue. When we dig a little deeper past the disrespect, the anger, okay, while we're mad, we're really hurt as fathers. The good fathers who give you a good life, make sure you have your clothes, everything we want you to have the best. So when we ask you to do something and you don't do it, the anger is rooted in, this isn't fair. I love you, man. I'm doing everything I can for you, and you still not, you don't love me, basically. Because Yeshua, Jesus said, if you love me, you will do what I say.
Obey my commands.
Yep, you will obey my commands. And so as sons, the reason why, we're hard on you is because we want to save you while there's still hope. We manipulate moms. Why? Because we know moms wants to save us in a different way. Mm-hmm. Right. All right. Yep. And what I want you guys to get in your hearts is that that's evil, because you're taking advantage of mom. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, and it's a good scripture here. Our fathers, this is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. It says, our fathers disciplined us for a short time as they thought which was best. So we're doing the best that we can.
Absolutely.
All right. And it says, but Yah, or God, disciplines us for our good, so that we may share in his holiness. This is the key. For the moment, all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been what? Trained by it. So when we avoid it and run from it and manipulate mom and do everything that we can to avoid it, eventually it catches us like it caught me. I don't know about you, B. When I got up from under my mother's house, I made a lot of mistakes, man. I could have been dead a few times. And so, I wanted to bring you guys to the table about, okay, cool. You gave some examples of how we manipulate moms. Kate, I want you to come back real quick. What can we do, Jay? Bruce, Caden, Elisha, what can we do to not only for you guys, I'm a grown man now, what can you guys do, and you can encourage others to do, to help deal with that emotion that makes you want to be crafty or cunning and manipulative with your mothers? What can be done, or what can you put in place? Like for that's Jay. Matter of fact, Jay, if Jay's struggling with something, we'll talk. I say, Jay, how can I help you stop doing this? Then he'll give me some examples. Dad, take my phone at this time, or I shouldn't be home alone at this time. Things like that. That's grown man stuff. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So what can you do, and what can you advise for younger brothers who are watching this? What could they do to overcome their emotions in that way, to where they can be disciplined while there is still hope, instead of trying to find their way out and manipulate their mothers?
What I had to realize is that nothing good happens, or no source of improvement in building character happens without you just taking responsibility and taking.
Moving in and out the mic. Say that again, son.
Nothing happens until you take responsibility and decide, okay, well, this is an issue, and if I can't manipulate, I can't get out of this, because at the end of the day, it's my problem to deal with. If I don't deal with it now, like you said, it becomes a problem later.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I ended up doing was that I ended up just having to look at all the situations where I wanted to get mad, and I have to say, okay, how can I stop this? How can I make sure that I get through this or learn how to deal with it, instead of trying to get saved by my mother and all of that.
That's good. Basically, stop doing what's getting dad upset in the first place. Then you wouldn't even have to manipulate mom. Very good. Kate, go on. What you think, man?
To be honest, I just feel like maybe it's just like to a point where it's really on you, and you just have to be like, I have to figure out when to stop this, and if somebody's telling me what to do, like my father or something like that, just listen, or just do it even before they tell you to do it, and just get it done, so you don't have to lean on your mother to help you out.
That's good. Good. Let's go, Jason, and then Bruce.
What Elisha and Caden said are really good. That's pretty much where I was gonna go. I say, with me, when I manipulate my mom, it's not really different stuff. It's repetitive, and I have to work on.
Can you give me an example of that? As your dad, I would like to know how it's repetitive.
I really don't know, but I just know it's repetitive because I don't really do different stuff. It's the same stuff. I go back to it. I need to set, I don't know, I want to say boundaries, but not boundaries. Because just say, if you ask me to, this is a perfect example, to fold the clothes, and I'm over there on my phone laying down, scrolling through Instagram or something. I need to ask my mom to keep my phone, or ask you to put it up before you leave the house. Ask you to put it up in a safe so that does not happen again. And
that's good, but I like what you said, even to ask your mother.
Right.
Say, Mom, take my phone because I'm not doing what Dad said do.
And it's a distraction.
Mm-hmm. That's very good. That's very good, because at the end of the day, you know, Bruce II would tell, you know, we don't want to be at odds with our wives. We're really one unit. Okay. And marriage is a challenge. It's very difficult to, especially when you're raising a child, because you feel that, you know, ain't like, you know, we've done it before with little J. You know, this is the first little J and the last little J. So it's like, I think my way is right. You think your way is right.
Right.
And that's just the dynamics of marriage. So when you see your father and mother arguing, it's not that we're getting a divorce. It's just that discord, and we're trying to do the best for you, because it comes from a good place. But that's great advice. And so what do you think? Is there anything else that can be done?
To be honest, for me personally, I just need to have self-discipline for myself, because I feel like they'll discipline me sometimes, and sometimes I'll blow it off and be like, this is temporary. And then
why you laugh at that? Why is that funny? Why is that funny? I want to know.
Because it was this one time with the folding the clothes thing. Like, I think I did it again because you took my phone, because you're gracious with me. You took my phone, and then like it seemed like I wasn't gonna get it back for about like a good 2 days. And then that night we were eating dinner, he's like, man, you can have your phone back. Just don't do it again. I did it again. so it was such a slight punishment. I was like, dude.
So basically, he telling me I'm not putting enough discipline in place.
It doesn't mean you have to, because I'll change.
but you know, like, you know, when something happened recently, dang, what was it? Oh, you weren't supposed to be on games, playing your games, and I come into his room, and I see. I see the headphones. I said,
no, you saw the PS5 controller first.
Yeah, I saw the PlayStation 5 controller
it was like
on his
right
bed.
on top of my pillow.
I'm like, what is this doing out? And Jay he say, I don't, because he was still asleep. His game ain't even tight. So he fell asleep doing what he wasn't supposed to do. So he says to me, he says, I don't know, Dad. So I'm like, so I grabbed the controller and I look a little more. I'm like, headphones? So then I just follow the trail, right? I follow the trail, iPad.
It was right on my
John
pillow.
Madden. I got in him. It got real serious because it was beyond Bruce, Bruce's dad I'm talking to now, for those of you. He's off camera. It wasn't hurt at that point.
Anger.
It wasn't even anger. It was fear.
On your end?
Yes, I feared for my son's life because if he's not doing what I'm telling him to do now, when he gets older, that manifests into other things. And I don't want you shot and killed for something, you're doing something you're not supposed to do. I don't want you to lose your job and you're taking care of my grandchildren.
Right.
And you get caught sleeping on the job. I don't want you sleeping with another woman because you don't feel good about yourself one day. And now my grandchildren won't have their dad in their home. That's why I just felt the anger of the Most High fell on me and like, you need to do something now. And so I was scared for you because I'm very gracious, like you say.
Right.
I want to be the father I longed for. But even in that, I have to be cautious that I don't deny you the discipline that you deserve.
Right.
And I don't even mean deserve in a negative way. You deserve it because it's the only thing that can train you up the right way. You deserve discipline. You do. So as parents, especially I want to talk to the mothers for a brief second. When you have a good husband, or say you're divorced or you never got married, but the father of your son is still a good man. He loves your son. He wants the best for your son. I can tell you the same thing with Bruce Collins, his father, and these young men can tell you. The best thing you can do is allow them to receive the discipline they deserve. And I'm very careful in saying this because, that's your son too. You love him. Heck, real talk, they went through the most to get you here. That's why I would get on you whenever you talk. Well, you don't talk back to your mother, but anything you do to her that to me isn't right, I'm on you because she almost died having you. All of your mothers could have died having you. Manipulating our moms is really evil. You're taking her kindness and using it against her. You're taking her love and using it against her. And that's what we have to turn against and turn that warrior on and like, no. I'm going to take advantage of this good love I get from my mom and be the best son I can be. Because there's a lot of boys who don't have that. When you have that, when you have a mother who loves you, who will give you anything, do anything for you, you don't abuse that. You take advantage of that. Okay. Now I'm about to be the best at this. And that's what we should do.
I want to add on.
Go ahead.
I want to say, like,
Get in the mic a little more. Go ahead.
For me, with my mom, having a single mom, it's like, if I know she'll do anything, literally, like when I say anything, she tells me all the time, I will do anything for you. Anything you need, anything you want, I'll do for you. You ought to treat her correctly and pour back into her too. And treat her correctly, like do things for your mom. Like one thing that I love to do for my mom is cook for her because I can cook. So, so I like to cook for my mom, and I know she cooks for me. Okay, I'll cook for her. She takes care of me. I take care of her when she needs stuff. Like when she'll ask me like rub her feet or something like
That's
that.
Good.
I'll rub her feet or something like that. And it's just like you have to be, I don't know, respectful of your mom and just treat her correctly because you want that kindness too, and you want to like, I don't know, pour it out and just.
That's real, and I love that. You know, Jay rub mom's feet. You know, what do you do for Dakina? Do you need the mic or no?
Honestly, I can't think of anything that I do back
Okay.
to give back to her.
Okay, good. I love your transparency, son. Like, I admire that. All right. That's how we grow. So I guess your assignment is to find something that you can do for your mother. How can you pour back into her?
Yes, sir.
You know, and live from, it's in your heart. You just got to live from that. It's there. You know what to do. You just got to do it. And I'm going to close with this. The closest, everyone talks about when you get older, unconditional love. And hold on real quick before I forget. That's why I'm glad I got my brother here. Also, for your fathers, even though this episode is called Manipulating Moms, find something you can do to pour back into your dads. Because we get tired. I mean, we do a lot as well. And we feel neglected more so than respected. So just find something you can do for your fathers as well. All right. So I want to close on this. So when you get older, you're going to start looking for this thing called unconditional love. I want somebody that's going to love me regardless for what I do and who I am. So let me tell you guys something. And it's just from experience. The closest you will ever get to that on earth is the love of a good mother. And Mr. B clapping in the back. I say that again. The closest you will ever get to unconditional love on earth is the love you receive from a good mother. Don't blow that. Take advantage of it. All of y'all at this table are blessed. Don't forget that. Don't ever forget that. And so let's get rid of at this table. We can vow that we'll no longer manipulate our mothers and instead we will all receive the discipline that we deserve. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Not in a negative way. It's that discipline that makes us stronger. All right. So we're gone. Thank you for watching and listening. And we'll be back with episode 3. And eventually I want you guys to start producing. All right. I'm only here for a moment. All right. I want you guys to take over. You got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right.